It's the hottest podcast in the world. From WWE to TNA by way of the NWA. It's referee Brian Hebner, legendary WWE referee and Mr. Refin Rant himself, Jimmy Corderas, and OVW and TNA senior official Daniel Spencer. It's time for Reffing It Up.
All right. Here we go. Welcome back to Reffing It Up. Ladies and gentlemen, we got the screens look a little different tonight.
It do
a little different. Brian, Jimmy, first of all, how you guys doing?
Wow, doing great, bro.
All right,
trying something.
What do you got
here.
this week? What is that?
There we go. It's the step up to the snack bar.
Okay.
That's kind of little mix. It's from Trader Joe's. My old buddy Kyle Edwards is up here visiting, and he figured he'd bring me a gift. And
look at that.
That's only
very
one.
nice.
Trust
very
me.
nice.
The pantry's full, bro.
Why it looks a little different, as you can see, this is not RJ on the screen. This is
Unless you went to Turkey, that's not RJ.
Yeah, right. It's not RJ.
Or grew hair. Yeah, one or the other.
This is OVW's Voice of the Valley, the one and only Eric Cornish. Eric, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, guys. It is a pleasure to be here. I'm a big fan of the show, and hope I can fill those shoes of Mr. RJ here tonight.
So we're done, Eric, with the opening, and so now it's time for you to lead the ship. So do you know what to do from here?
Sure. Hey, sounds good. I think, guys, we should throw it to the first count.
Here we go.
This is your one count.
As you see, my dog even knew it was the first count, right? So, All right. Well, I guess for the first count, people might care who I am, but I if they want to, you can tell everybody who I am, Daniel, since you know me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Eric, a couple things. Me and Eric go way back when it comes to the podcasting world. We had a show together called Ringside Podcast. Brian, you've been a guest on that show before. Before that, Eric and I, well, still to this day, we work together at OVW, but we met at OVW. We actually started at the same time, if I remember that correctly, right?
Yeah, I think we figured out years later that we actually started on the exact same day. It was one of those things where we both ran into Al Snow, and he said, well, why don't you come out to a show and check it out, and then we'll see where it goes from there. And it turns out it was the exact same show that we were both invited to.
Amazing. Exact same show. Wow. Yeah. And then we kind of we're similar in age, so a lot of the guys are very, very young. So with Eric being closer to my age, we kind of like, oh, well, why don't we kind of like agree with the same things except for our sports teams. But other than that, we kind of have a lot of the same things in common. So we kind of hung out together and rode together to some of these events and things like that. And then just kind of eventually was like, hey, why don't you join the podcast of Ringside? Because I was doing Ringside at the time. Eric joined it. And and then we've been, pretty much ever since that first couple months, we've been friends ever since. And it just grows and grows there, right?
So I have a question there. Eric, I have a question for you. You're the voice of the Valley. Is that how he introduced you?
That is correct, yeah.
Okay. Explain to me why you are and what it is exactly you're the voice of the Valley doing.
Okay, so I am the lead ring announcer for OVW. I say lead ring announcer. I kind of share duties with the lovely Linda Kay, who, trust me, is a lot better looking than I am. But we both do the ring announcing duties. I do a little bit of commentary as well, and we all have to brand ourselves, right? I mean, my ultimate job is to get everybody else over. But I think I asked one time, if I had a moniker, what would it be? And my cousin, who lives in Alabama, tweeted the voice of the Valley for, Ohio Valley Wrestling. And it's just stuck ever since. I was like, I like that. That's cool. So
That's really cool.
I like that. That's a T-shirt, man. That's a T-shirt.
Oh,
Waiting
he
to
has
happen.
he has a
It's a
T-shirt.
couple.
Oh, he does have one.
Yeah,
No, he doesn't.
yeah, he does. And then what's great
Tremendous.
about Eric and I is that he also has a phrase that I believe, I think Brian Kinnison was the one who came up with it, right? So it's kind of passed on to some other lead commentators and things where they go, Eric, my man, tell him who's fighting. So then Eric, it kind of leads in. And he's got one of those shirts, which I think is a shirt we actually used to promote him coming on the show. He's wearing it. Eric, my man, tell him who's fighting. So,
Yeah, I owe that all to Brian Kinnison. That was his pitch to me. Anytime he was throwing it up to me for an intro or whatever, and it just kind of stuck. So yeah, I kind of owe that to him. And I asked him, I said, how much of a cut do you want from these shirts? And he said, just give me one, then we're good. So yeah,
Fair deal.
dude.
Yeah, everybody asks, so like usually asks anyways. Being a ring announcer, obviously commentary is a little bit different, but ring announcer, somebody likes to, like in wrestling with everything, whether it's wrestling, refereeing, ring announcing, you always borrow from someone. You always kind of like take cues from someone. Is there someone you kind of patterned yourself after, or kind of sort of just said, you know what, I like their style, I'm going to try to not emulate it, but take some of that and make it my own?
Yeah, I think it's. I think you kind of borrow from every. When you steal from one person, it's plagiarism. If you steal from a bunch, it's research, right? So, for me, if you don't steal from the Fink in ring announcing, I think you're just missing it. Because who was better than Howard Finkel, right? But for me and my location here, being in Louisville, Kentucky, Lance Russell.
Okay, good.
Lance Russell. Oh, what did you think I was going to say?
I didn't. I was hoping you weren't going. Never mind. I don't want to say his name. Chimmel. Oh man.
So the funny thing is, speaking of stealing from Howard Finkel, even Jimmy has stolen from Howard Finkel. So here he goes. He's gonna.
There we go.
He's a thief.
Even the Howard Finkel head on the Jimmy Cordes
that's
action figure.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
I like that. No, Fink's great, and I think everybody kind of patterns themselves these days. If it all kind of starts with him, and then it branches off from the way he did it, because I think he was the best to ever do it, right? But I'm a little more, the Memphis kid in me that watched Memphis wrestling here in Louisville is all about Lance Russell. Lance Russell's a little more laid back. Lance Russell's a little more your buddy, So, and that kind of bleeds over into my commentary as well, and my intros and things like that. And I think you've talked to AJ McKay, who, another big fan of Lance Russell. And we both use the yellow again, everybody, which, was classic for Lance in Memphis. So, and we've even talked to his son, who said, I think Dad would love that you use that, and the right along ringside, which he always said. So, so we got the blessing from Shane Russell on that. And so we continue to honor his legacy.
Yeah,
Nice.
AJ actually did it just recently. I was watching back. I worked a different show Saturday. OVW had a show in Cincinnati, Ohio, the Race for the Crown, which is kind of like a King of the Ring style show, a little different though, but still the crown, the king and queen of the ring. But I noticed he said at the beginning, right along when he saw me and Josh Ashcraft, I was like, oh, he's still, that's cool that he's still doing that at the beginning of the show. I caught that when I watched it back later. Eric, you also dabbled. For many years, your main career was radio, and which is why podcasting becomes so natural for you. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. Well, if you want to call 20 years dabbling, I guess I dabbled in radio.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a dabble.
Mainly country radio for most of my career. And just kind of worked my way around the state of Kentucky, a little bit into Indiana, Evansville, Indiana, and then back home to Louisville. And then about 3 years ago, just decided to call it quits. It was a nice round number, and the business had changed a lot. So, but I have so many great memories and lots of great stories, and it's just kind of like wrestling. You have stories nobody else has, and I'll cherish that forever. But yeah, I kind of said goodbye to that about 3 years ago and got into the real workforce, and then just do the wrestling thing to kind of keep my foot in the live broadcasting,
Nice.
So before we give you the keys to the ship, anytime I have a OVW talent on here at all, of any form, I need you to talk about Al Snow for a minute. I need a story. I need something that will make me comically laugh because everyone has one that's been around that son of a bitch.
Oh, he's great. I've got two. One is one, so I can just kind of stick it to AJ McKay because why not?
Okay. Hey, do you?
So AJ, as you'll know, and you probably don't know him just from having him on the show and have him as the voice of your show or whatever. AJ will sell anything, just so you know. And everybody
wait a minute, back up. Like in regards to just can sell ice to an Eskimo.
No.
He will sell any. If you try to rib him, if you just pick at him, he will sell anything. And Al knows this, and everybody knows this, right?
Okay.
So several years ago, I don't even remember how long ago it was. We're both talking to Al about something, pitching him ideas, and every time AJ pitches something, he's like, "No, whatever. That's no good." And so I mentioned something. I was like, "Oh, what if we did this?" He's like, I'll think about that. And AJ's like, oh, fine. You're just going to listen to everything your best friend says. So from that day forward, anytime I see Al, especially if AJ's around, I greet him, hello, best friend. And Al greets me back, hello, best friend. And so now it's become a thing to where now we don't even think about AJ. It's just a thing that we do. But I've got several friends that just don't realize like how deep I am into wrestling stuff that we'll see. Maybe it's my birthday and they see on Facebook, did Al Snow say happy birthday, best friend on your Facebook? I'm like, yeah. So what? So
very cool.
So that gets at AJ every time. If he hears it, he hates it. But the other thing is, Al Snow is the king of your mom jokes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Loves your mom jokes. And so I ribbed myself one time. So I invited Al and his wife to the country club. To the country club where my mom and dad belong and I belong. And so they came out one day, we had dinner and there was a band playing. And so I thought I would rib Al by saying, there's all these older women, it's like, hey, I think you should get up and dance with them because they were all looking at him like, oh, look, it's Al Snow. So he gets up and there's 4 older women and he's not a dancer. I think you know this.
Yeah.
So he gets up and he dances with the first one, dances with the second one. Little did I think about that my mom was the third one up there.
Oh, no.
And all he had to do was look at me and look at her and just grab her tight and start dancing. And I was like, oh, that's it. I'll never hear I ribbed myself. I'll never hear the end of it.
Tremendous.
That is so Al.
Yeah, that is so Al.
If you ever get to Alan and hit him with your mom jokes, I got one for you, but we'll save it for after when we're off.
Okay. Sounds good.
Hey, Eric, did you see the comments?
Oh, would I bury Daniel all the time?
Yes, sir. My man.
All the time.
Well, since the keys are yours, I have to do this.
Oh boy.
You watch the show. You know this is my favorite part, correct?
Oh yeah.
You do it early.
Yep. I've seen him long enough. Will you please eliminate him for me and let's move on with the show because the keys are now yours. You're driving the steering wheel and do it well, sir.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, and Daniel Spencer, let's let some real legends in refereeing take over. And just like you don't see most things that happen in the ring, we're not going to see you for a while. See ya.
Hey, you do it better than RJ.
Wow.
I've already forgot about him. Hey, let's move it up to your rep and review.
This is Ref and Review.
All right, time for the rep and review. And this week we're going to look at, and I know for a fact, even listening to the podcast, that this is Jimmy's favorite promotion that we're going to be talking about, and that is AEW Dynamite. We're going to be looking at a match, Chris Jericho versus Kevin Knight from Dynamite, and a lovely ref who you're also very fond of.
Well, let me put it to you this way. There's a couple of things here. I do not dislike AEW. It's just some of their presentation I think could be done differently. Let's put it that way. I'm putting it in a nice way. That being said, what happened on Wednesday night, I think this finish between the Chris Jericho Kevin Knight match for the TNT Championship has been talked about by everyone. And contrary to popular opinion, no, this was not a 4.25 star match. By God, don't even get me started on that. But let me paint the picture for the three people out there who didn't see this. During the match leading up to the finish, Chris Jericho puts Kevin Knight in the walls of Jericho, aka a Boston Crab, in the middle of the ring. Aubrey does the right thing and positions herself to Kevin Knight's head so she can't see if any interference would happen whatsoever. Problem was, he had him in the middle of the ring. Don Callis, who was supposed to interfere at that point, it's like, wait a minute, he's kind of far away from me to reach out and hit him with that screwdriver that he uses.
Is that what that was, Jimmy? A screwdriver?
It's a screwdriver. That's the problem with the screwdriver. That's another problem altogether, that the gimmick they're using is hard to detect in the hand. But he was so far in the ring, he needed that long cane that Haku takes to the ring now. He would have needed that to reach him. But anyway, so what does Chris do? Before Don gets in the ring, he kind of motions like, hey, over there. I don't know why he was saying over there. Don was like, and people who are blaming Don Callis, it's not his fault at all. But so he's like, I can't reach him. So what do I got to do? I got to get in the ring. So he gets in and Jericho's yelling at him to get out, you idiot. Well, okay. Now, Aubrey again, staying down like a good soldier. I'm giving her credit here for staying down, not noticing any of this. But Jericho starts scooching over to the ropes while he's still got Kevin Knight in the Boston Crab to get close enough to the ropes where Don Callis can waffle him with the screwdriver. And again, Aubrey did a good job of staying down, not seeing anything. That's fine. But the screwdriver wasn't even the finish. They still did a bunch more, and then Jericho went for that twirling back fist, whatever the hell he calls that thing, and Kevin Knight ducks. And here's where I think Aubrey overdid it. Kevin Knight ducked. As Jericho followed through, she ducked to not get hit by Jericho's fist. Fine, great. But she turned and she, again, overreacted and ducked through the ropes. Like stuck her head completely so that Kevin Knight could kick Jericho in the yam bags. She didn't need to go that far with it. That's the thing. It's too much. It would have been plain and simple. He comes with the thing, duck, turn your head. Just turn your head. Like you don't want to get hit. Wait a second because you're making sure that you don't get hit. And then turn around. The damage is already done. Back to business. It was a bit over-exaggerated. You didn't have to spin right around and stick your head out of the ropes. You know, at that point, why not dive out of the ring? I mean,
it just looked contrived, is what you're saying.
Yes, it was way over the top. The more natural you make it look without trying to work, excuse me, without trying to pro wrestlingize it, the better it looks. It looks more natural and it looks better on the heel because he's taking advantage of a situation like this in a snap of. That's another thing that's lost completely on a lot of young wrestlers today. They think the cheating has to go on while the referee's distracted for like a minute and a half, 5 seconds max, and you can get it done. And that's not just AEW, that's everywhere. I see it everywhere. But
so Jimmy, let me ask you this, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Do you think that Don could have been at fault with this because Jericho wouldn't have put it on in the middle knowing he needed to be hit and was going to get there? And Aubrey got there too soon as well?
No. I don't blame Don in this one. Don was looking for a way out because why else would he put it on him in the middle of the ring? There's no reason for him to put it on in the middle of the ring because the spot was for Don Callis to waffle him with the object. So so he's too far away. Don can't get to him. Instead of scooching up to the ropes while you still got him in the Boston Crab, as Don gets in the ring, chase him out. Let him go, chase him out, grab him, reapply the hold. Now put it in position where you're close to the ropes. Boom. Right. Everybody, nobody knows the better. It looks like that's the spot. You know what I mean? And it kind of surprises me that a veteran like that kind of missed that opportunity. But anyways, that's just me.
Well, I also feel like Aubrey was buried there. I don't blame her for a lot of this at all. The one spot with the head between the ropes, I get that. That was a little over the top.
Yeah.
But hell, at that point, where we were, it was kind of a wash. I don't know. I just don't understand why he would have put it in the middle of the ring.
Right.
I don't know.
That made no sense. And Aubrey had to lay there and try to ignore all that.
For what seemed like forever.
Yes, exactly. And there's only so much that a referee can ignore.
Yeah. And at that point, I don't think anybody's talking about her ducking out of the ropes. Everybody's talking about Jericho and Callis.
You're right.
But those are the little things.
Both pros.
But those are the little things that, the over-exaggerating duck through the ropes is stuff that fans probably wouldn't really pay attention to. But, for some reason, I notice little quirks. I get nitpicky with the referees because I notice things, especially when they do something that I deem to be distracting when it shouldn't be, because obviously the main focal point of every match is the talent in the ring. You're there to help them tell their story and be invisible until you need to be seen.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's move on to something else that maybe, fans maybe notice, maybe they don't, but we're talking about the tag ropes because it hasn't always been a thing. I think back when I was growing up, WWE had them, but I don't think WCW had them.
No,
they didn't.
So where did the tag ropes come from, and how do you guys see them used properly and improperly today?
Well, let me start with this. Jimmy will agree with this 100% because he heard it from the same person. A big, big supporter of tag ropes was a guy by the name of Eddie Guerrero.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie Guerrero thought that the tag ropes gave authority figures like us ways to be gone in different directions so the heels could easily do things and they could just be utilized by the boys so much, and no one wanted to do that for some reason and just not use them properly. There was a proper way to use tag ropes and a proper way not to. Back in the day, and I hate to say it like that, was a legal tag was when your hand was on the rope, the distance that it gave you, which was usually what, Jimmy, 2 foot?
Not even that.
Foot and a half? Foot?
Yeah, give or take. Yeah, probably 2 feet. Yeah.
All right, and 2 feet on the apron and a tag. But if you look at the ways that Eddie used the tag ropes throughout his career, I mean, whether they were legal, not legal, comedic, it didn't matter. But to get to your question, I think they should be used. I do. And they should be used proper if you're going to use them. I remember when I worked at Impact, TNA for a while, they just were being just buried. They weren't being used. And so we had a talent meeting or agent meeting or something, a meeting. And they just said, just take the fucking things off. Just take them off. If we're not going to use them right, there's no sense in having them because you're making the refs look stupid. But if you don't use them, look what we get. We get tags when people are on the floor. So, I mean, there's got to be some kind of format to tagging legally at this point anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy, what do you think?
I think the utilization of tag ropes would greatly enhance giving authority back to the referees and gives the heels actually an extra weapon to use behind the referee's back. Like you said, Brian, let's say, for example, the babyface just scurries down the apron a little bit to complain about something. Hey, ref, he cheated, whatever the case. Now the ref turns his back to get him to go back and hang on to the tag rope. And while his back is turned, again, quickly, the heels could double team. They have him in the corner. They take their tag rope and start choking, something like that.
Yep.
You can use them in that form or fashion. If you're not going to use tag ropes and eliminate them completely, at least make the rule like you were talking about, Eric, where WCW didn't have tag ropes, but their rule was one hand on the turnbuckle pad, and then you can tag with the other hand. But obviously those numbers were fudged as well. It's just, I don't mind when it's not so egregious, but when you see stuff like, guys, I saw one a couple of weeks ago where one guy was on the apron, the other guy was sitting on the corner post, and he tagged his butt, and the referee called it a legal tag, and they were both outside the ring.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like the referee's discretions, which I hate that term. It drives me nuts. The referee's discretions are getting it's gone too far. And if you want to make it like politics, it's like politics. Both sides have gone too far to each side. Oh, geez, I'm hitting the mic. I'm getting excited. Both have gotten too far to each other's side that there's nobody meeting in the middle anymore. And that's what wrestling needs. You can bring old school and new school and blend it together so that it makes a perfect story.
So Jimmy, if there's no, all right, 2 questions. Tag ropes can be a good way for referees to do what? That's very important during TV.
Pass messages and communicate with the talent. When you're telling someone to stay on the rope, hang on to your tag rope, and you're motioning with your hands, you're pantomiming with your hands, you're actually telling them, okay, we've got 2 minutes, we're going to break, or whatever the signal you want to pass. Yep. That's another thing too, which is another discussion for another day, is how to properly communicate signals that you're getting from the back and from other wrestlers to communicate while you're in the ring.
Yep.
That's another thing that's getting a little out of hand, but hey.
But if there's no format, my point being, why would referees go to a corner and care?
Exactly. That's what you're seeing now. You're seeing guys just walk over to the corner and they're telling him stay in the corner when the guy's already there. And hey, and half the time you see them just walk over. They're not even motioning with their hand or anything like that, or making it look like they're trying to admonish him or tell him something. It's kind of like it's obvious that, especially in today's world where people are more in tune with this kind of stuff and they know everybody's smart now. He just passed a signal. Well, it's because you made it too obvious.
I just think tag ropes should be reintroduced to all companies and used properly, in my opinion. Eric, what's your opinion on it before we get out of here?
No, I do think that they're important. We use them in OVW, and I think they have a lot of value. And they add a little more authority, like you said. And as we just saw, I think Donnie that jumped up here earlier in the comments and said it's kind of like a coaching box in basketball. You have a box that you're supposed to stay in, and the ref can look at you if you start to get out of that box. But if you do it too many times, well, then you're in trouble.
Right.
I think he's got a point there. So. But I agree. I think I like the tag ropes personally. And I would like to see all companies implement them, just like you said. I think, and then you did mention Eddie Guerrero, and one of the best spots I ever saw with the tag rope was when Eddie took it halfway down the top rope. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, me and Jimmy both have been part of that
yeah, and Nick Patrick has done it as well. It's
yes.
Like, hey, you're supposed to be hanging on to the tag rope. I am. Look at me. I am. But it's supposed to be over there, and while all that's going on, there's a whole bunch of gaga going on behind you.
Yeah.
But it gives the referee a reason to be
somewhere
preoccupied with something else.
Yeah. All right, Eric, Eric, I'm sorry, but you know what we have to do.
Yeah.
Unless you just want to continue unless you want to stay in referee review for the whole night. I don't care. It's fine with me.
Sure.
We can just send him out to sing karaoke, but no, then I'd want to go with him. So I guess Daniel can come back for our second count.
Damn it.
This is your 2 count.
All right, back with count number 2. And Daniel, welcome back, sir.
I'm back.
Oh,
I'm back.
Hello, Daniel.
For the record, I'm in for karaoke. You know that.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, I know you are. We'll do that a little bit later on. But
I'm
Daniel,
down to watch.
What I did like was Daniel was holding on to the tag rope the entire time until we tagged him back in. So
is that what he was?
Yeah.
That'd be cool, Daniel. Daniel, if we'd have came back up and you had a tag rope on your damn mic, and you were like,
I thought about doing that. I thought about doing. I could. There it is, right here.
You couldn't get the twist tie on there.
Well, welcome back, Daniel. Now we're in our second count. We've got a lot of wrestling news going on. And let's just start with this. The Bloodline, just when you thought it couldn't grow anymore, here it grows again. Zilla Fatu makes his debut on NXT.
Well, I'll just say this. I am not that familiar with him. I have heard of him. I know about him, but I don't know a lot about him to tell you, oh my gosh, this is the biggest thing ever. But I will say this. I have reached out to a few people that have told me this guy can be the guy in the bloodline. The future of this kid is extremely only up and up, all arrows pointing that way. I'm excited to see him grow, and I'm glad they put him in NXT and he just wasn't put on the main roster out of the gate like they've done with a few. I think this is great for fans to figure him out, build his character, let him figure out who they want him to be. And I'm extremely excited because they say that he could be better than the Wolf. Is that what they call it? The Samoan Wolf, right?
Werewolf, Jacob.
Werewolf.
Yeah.
I'm bad. My bad. It is after 9:00. But no, that could be something even more dangerous than him, like against the grain, which is really cool. I'm excited the way they're doing it slow, introduce them to the NXT brand, and figuring them all out and getting them where they want to be before they throw them into the main roster.
I think Zilla Fatu is right where he needs to be. Zilla Fatu is, for all the potential that he has, still needs some seasoning, and especially under the WWM umbrella, who do television differently than everybody else, as everybody knows, the New York way, as people like to call it. But he needs to be indoctrinated into that, and has to be drilled into him, because I hate to put it this way, because when you've been working on the indies for a long time, you develop habits that to the people that are in charge of the main roster and stuff like that, they consider them bad habits for their TV. He's going to have to learn to curtail those and feel comfortable and smooth with doing it the way they like doing it.
I have worked with Zilla quite a few times. He's a great talent. He's a great dude. Believe it or not. I mean, a lot of those Usos are. They're all great. And he's got a future for sure. There was rumors he was going to be signed a year ago, but he was, again, a year ago. He needed more work. And he did some stuff with Booker T's school. He did some more stuff with Fourth Rope, which is where I worked with him, and he came into TNA a couple of times too. So yeah, he's got a future bright, and I think, as Jimmy was saying, NXT is right, because not only is he going to be on featured, which I'm sure he's on TV right now tonight as we're shooting this, but he's also going to do coconut loops. He's also going to do PC stuff. He will learn the ropes, so to speak, quickly there, and then you might be a Solo Sikoa, where it ain't gonna be very long, 6 months or 8 or whatever it was for him, and boom, he shoots right up to the main roster.
Yeah, I worked with him too, and I think you're right about the little seasoning that he does need, but he could be the guy. I think you're right. I like Jacob a lot too, but Zilla's got it, and he I think the show, and we worked Dave Hero's show, Blizzard Brawl, and he actually came out with Armando Estrada, which was kind of an emotional thing, since he was the original manager of his dad, Umaga. So that was kind of a cool thing. That wouldn't be a bad presentation if they worked that out too. So
how old is he, Eric? Do you have a Google machine like RJ? Do you know how old he is?
I think he's like 22-ish or something.
Oh my gosh, really?
He's young.
Is he that young? I didn't think he was that young. But
I could.
Is he also?
Wrong. I don't know.
Jimmy, do you have any idea how many years
he's been 20? On he's 26.
26. That's still young.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I didn't realize he was born 9/9/99. Man,
really?
Oh yeah, yes, he was.
That was the
that's when he was born.
Came out.
Sega Dreamcast before he was born.
9/9/99.
Thanks.
No?
99.
You better play those numbers.
Damn, I was reffing 12 years by that time. Gee, man.
You're all right, Jimmy. Relax.
You hear that? You hear that? I'm talking to my knees and my shoulders and my elbows. Anyway.
All right. Well, let's move to some potential debuts that the rumors have been out there, saying that Swerve, who has talked about getting some backup, may be getting some new backup or new day backup in the form of Kofi and Xavier, or Kofi and Austin or whatever it may end up being when the New Day makes their debut in AEW. Do you think that happens?
All signs are pointing towards them forming a trios. I'm not a fan of this.
Me either.
I'm not a fan of this at all because Swerve should be a top singles guy. Bottom line, I think when he was AEW World Heavyweight Champion, they booked him horribly. He should have been the guy. He should have been put on a mountaintop on a pedestal, and they just treated him like another guy on the show. And for that, I think that was horrible. As far as Kofi and Xavier, or whatever they're going to be called in AEW, I'm glad they're there. I'm glad they're getting their paycheck. They are a shot of adrenaline there. And this is no disrespect for the dogs who debuted, but they get zero reaction, unfortunately, because they come from a promotion that only diehard fans will recognize them. Kofi and Xavier Woods, everybody knows the New Day. Everybody. And these guys in a rivalry with the current champs, Cope and Cage, would be gold.
Yeah.
That would be gold to rejuvenate that division. And then you can start elevating the other tag teams afterwards. But to put them in a trio situation with Swerve, I think is a waste of all three of their talents, and get them in a mishmash with Ricochet and his guys. And then you got Hangman and Brodito together because Hangman can't challenge for a world championship anymore. So let's throw them in a trios. But it doesn't do any of them any good, in my opinion.
I agree, Jimmy. I agree. I think you're wasting two guys like New Day with a third member, in my opinion. I mean, Swerve's a star, in my opinion, at AEW on his own.
Yeah.
So you have three, or actually two different acts. If you want to keep them as a tag, you have two different acts, but you put it all in one. Doesn't make much sense to me if you're trying to, garner new stars. I mean, I don't know. Yeah. I don't like it. And like you said, Jimmy, I don't like it at all, actually.
The one thing I'll say is what I like about it is I love seeing guys like the New Day get another opportunity as far as having a job when they were released 90 days ago. So that the part of it that I like. As far as the trio and the group, I mean, they just came from a trio, sort of. I think it's better to reinvent yourself. Swerve's already got his own thing. Adding to it could I'm not saying it's going to dilute what he does, because I believe the guy's over, but it just, you don't need to do that. If that's a way just to bring him in to do one match and then split them apart, then I guess okay, whatever. But anyways, that's kind of my take on it.
And the other thing, I don't think it needs to be a surprise. They're trying to make it as a surprise. Who's going to join Swerve as a to help him out in the trio situation. These guys are big stars. They should be promote the living, what out of it. Do video packages. Even you don't even have to put them on the video. Keep alluding to it, but at least make it a big deal that these guys are coming, as opposed to saying, "Hey, I'm bringing some guys with me. Guess who?"
I agree.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing is, I think everyone in AEW has to be in some sort of faction, trio, foursome, whatever. I mean, that's just what has to happen. So I don't know of anybody there that's not in some sort of faction. So I think that's just
when you've got a roster that big, you're trying to find spots for everybody, and that inadvertently what happens, or you become a member of the Don Callis family.
Maybe that's where they'll end up. But let's talk about something that I guess you guys talked about last week and wondered where it was going, but very happy, and I am, and I know you guys will be too, to see that Chelsea Green is going to stay as the WWE Women's Champion in a segment that kicked off SmackDown that I will say is one of my favorite segments I've seen in a long, long time. What did you guys think about it?
I thought the segment was phenomenal. I really did. I think that made her even a bigger star. The crowd was with her. The crowd wasn't even that hot, but they became really hot at that point. She sucked them right on in. It was great. I have a question, though.
Mm-hmm.
So she is being told that she has 30 days to be cleared, which is 4 weeks, correct?
Correct.
Right.
All right. Well, I did a little research, and a broken orbital bone, which, if anybody doesn't know, is the eye socket, usually heal time is 6 to 8 weeks. Now, the only thing I thought about was maybe in a mask, she could come back within a 4-week span, something like that. But why put a timetable on an injury that takes longer than the 30 days that you said?
Well, do you remember he said a clear line in that? He said you have 30 days to get medically cleared or get you a mask or whatever else you need to do. He made it clear that he said or get you a mask or something in that aspect of it.
I didn't catch that.
He did. He said that.
I have
that's the out. Sorry, that would be the out for that, because she may be able to wrestle in 4 weeks with the mask.
Yeah, exactly.
I have a question for you, Brian.
Okay.
With the broken orbital bone,
Yes.
as they are saying, did it say anywhere in your research whether they were allowed to fly?
You cannot. Well, it did. What was it? There's internal bleeding. Once that's gone, the internal bleeding that has to subside, because obviously it's inside the eye socket there. So I'm assuming however long that takes, I don't know, because I guess she obviously flew to the show, right?
All right. Yeah. Okay. And the other question I have is, did they specifically say what caused the orbital bone injury? Was it the rolling elbow by JC Jane?
Yes.
He popped her from the outside?
Yes.
Well, I mean, he's asking, did they say it? They didn't say it.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
They alluded to it, though. They did allude. They showed the footage of that, because with the finish that they hit, I forget what they call it. I'm sorry. My apologies for forgetting what they call it. But it was a back bump. So I'm not trying to play doctor here, but I don't see how that could have caused the orbital bone injury.
So what are you saying, Inspector Gadget?
Inspector Gadget. Let me check. Okay. The rolling elbow from JC Jane on the outside hit her on the left side of the face, right? The discoloration on Friday night was on which side of her face?
Left.
Right side.
No, you're right. Right. Okay.
That was one hell of a shot that she got hit on the left side, and the right side broke her orbital bone.
So you believe it's storyline?
See, here's the problem, and this is a different conversation altogether. Now, with the introduction of shows like Unreal, and we see what happened with Seth Rollins, it makes me question everything now.
Right.
It makes me question everything.
They also took the interim name off, y'all told me last week.
Yes, that's because Rhea Ripley's going through surgery, which is going to keep her out a little longer than expected.
Maybe, right?
No, see, is that? No, she's getting surgery. But that's all. You know what I mean? That's the unfortunate thing now, is that I tend to question everything, and I shouldn't.
Well, I don't know. I don't want to get too deep in the whatever.
This is actually interesting. Stephen Camp said something.
Yeah.
Green can still have a match, but gets counted out and retained the title. Then she will have another 30 days.
You know what's brilliant about that is that usually would work for a heel, so get some heat. But with her, they'll love it.
They'll love it. Exactly.
They'll absolutely love it.
They wouldn't get everybody would go nuts.
Good call, Steve.
She would literally say, I'm not cleared yet, but you know what? Let's do a match or whatever. And then she gets counted out, and then she says, I don't have to defend it for another 30 days. And then, the crowd will go nuts.
They'll go banana. Ding, ding, ding. Roll out of the ring.
I like the seriousness of Chelsea, which, she's never had that before in WWE. And all of a sudden now, with her and Nick going back and forth, it was serious Chelsea, but that doesn't mean she can't drop back into the fun loving Chelsea everybody knows. Right. And I also like how it kind of transitioned into the next thing with Gunther and with Cardona. And I like when stories like intertwine like that.
Absolutely. And you know what I love? Sorry, Daniel. You know what I love most about that segment? They made an impromptu match, and the guys weren't in their gear, and they still had the match. As opposed to, okay, later on, go get dressed, and we're gonna have our match. No, it was heated right there, and they went right into it.
Right.
I mean, I would say if this was TNA, yes, Matt Cardona could defend on her behalf, but they don't do. They do intergender in WB. So, what was that? Donnie said, I think there's a genius work to sell just as finished to build. I mean, could be.
The Chelsea Tiffy thing. Yeah, there's definitely going to be something building there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on to the next match that we're looking forward to in AAA. The Mega Championship officially set. It's going to be Dominik Mysterio versus El Grande Americano at TripleMania 34 in Vegas.
Well,
Nice.
Jimmy, what do you got? What do you think here, sir?
This is interesting because Dominik Mysterio recently turned heel over there because he was over like a babyface, huge in AAA. And for turning on Chad Gable in that tag match, on the other, the OG El Grande Americano, they turned on him. So they got the reaction they want. And the current El Grande Americano is over like Rover in AAA. So this is going, I think maybe this is the right time to pull the trigger and make El Grande Americano your new AAA Mega Champion. You know what, too?
Like a pro,
I don't watch it regularly like I would like to, but when I do catch it, it is very different and very entertaining. And it's 1 hour. It's an easy watch. And it's on YouTube and it's free.
There you go.
Go ahead, Dan. You look like you're ready to set.
I hate to say this because but usually I do agree with Jimmy and not Brian, but I actually agree with Jimmy. I think this is the time to do the switch, and I think it's great. And I want to be sports entertained.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say, guys, because I'm confused. But go ahead. As Jimmy would say, what's new?
I think Brian just doesn't know if it's going to be in Spanish or English. I think that's what he's confused about.
Well, you know what? Corey Graves and JBL on commentary are fantastic.
Yeah.
Corey Graves calling the action. He's up to speed on everything with AAA. JBL, JBL's JBL.
That's it.
You talk about entertaining. That's entertaining.
He doesn't have to be up to speed on anything. It's like he came into OVW a couple of times and did commentary. He didn't know many of the talent, but did an excellent job. It's just all you got to do, just call what you see, right? And he does a great job at that.
Yeah,
he does. He always has.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't take cues from Bobby Heenan and call somebody a ham and egger. I don't know if that would fly in Mexico. I don't know if they'd understand that one.
All right. Well, if you guys have nothing else on AAA or whatever Jimmy said, let's move on to the third
I don't know.
count.
Is that the proper pronunciation? I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
This is your 3 count.
See,
whether you're north or south of the border, we'll figure it out.
Okay, I could do it in Canadian. It was like AAA.
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 Oh man.
Anyway.
Oh man, what a show. I will say this, Eric, it's been like a breath of fresh air. There we go. I got it out.
That too.
Having you
and
on.
a brush, actually.
And a brush.
Someone who could actually need one.
And a brush of hair. The 3 of us can brush our hair. Sorry, Jimmy.
Okay, you had to go there. Huh? We were having a good night right up until now. See what you can.
Well, hold on. Here we go. Earl wants to say hi. You got to show the
Hey, Earl. It's been a while. How you doing, buddy?
Eric, you need to be quiet. Get it out of my fucking face. Yes, I need some snack on myself.
Well, thank you for having me, guys. It's been fun.
Well, we're happy to have you, man. We've had a good time, had a little fun with each other. That's what it's all about, man.
Yeah, absolutely. But the fun's not done. Like, we can't just end the fun like that.
No.
Like you said, Daniel and I are always up for some good karaoke. Brian's going to watch, but Jimmy, it's your turn for some Corderis karaoke.
All right,
let's do this on the audio version. Corderis karaoke. Let's play that now. All right, Jimmy.
Jimmy, you've done it again, my friend.
Well, I thought I'd go a little different, outside the box. I'm trying to be a little bit
rules don't matter, huh?
Rules don't matter.
You know, win a little metal. What do you call it? Metal ballad? Is that what it's called?
I think it's just called a power ballad.
Power ballad. Okay. And there
we got brushing in the woods. What do we have? We got all kinds of shit.
I have no idea, man.
It's obviously too late to do a podcast.
Hey, I thought. Look,
I love it.
I believe we've done a pretty good job at 9 o'clock. We're normally on at 6, and I was worried that Brian would be falling asleep. And
hey.
Well, I low key told Daniel I'm going to be at the bar before this, so this could be very interesting. But I only had 2, and I still had a nap in between, so I was good.
Oh my God! What time did you get to the bar? 3?
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
Wow.
Hey, it was 8 o'clock
maybe
somewhere.
Maybe me and you can be friends.
Well, work at 3, man. Yeah.
One of the things that I we didn't even talk about it put over. We mentioned karaoke a few times, but like Eric and I have a couple karaoke songs we do together. Like
we're not doing that tonight.
Okay. No, I'm not saying we're doing it. I'm just saying, like, this is a very common thing, and Jimmy's been trying to, when I see you in a week or so in Brampton, we might have to do karaoke somewhere. I don't know.
Right.
Well, and Matt Green just brought up, maybe I can do a beatbox at the karaoke.
You can beatbox me, and we can beatbox this all. You can.
There you go.
Okay. All right. Now we can all participate.
Okay. Yeah, I want to know. Can Eric freestyle though? If Brian beatbox, can you freestyle?
No.
Okay.
Oh, I can't.
Well, neither can I, but I will.
We'll try it.
I'm glad you admitted it first.
Oh, I'm sure Eric will try it though. He's not gonna not try it.
If you have the machine, well, Eric, do you have a machine where I can do the beatbox, hit the button, and it plays it, and then I can rap it?
I don't have that. No.
Do what I do. Just
I bet that AJ McCoy does though.
Record it.
I bet he does too.
Record it. You can play it and re-record it or something like that. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, one of there's that, and then there's Eric. One of the things we never even got to talk about either is Eric's got two aliases, like what do you call them? Split personalities.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, one of them is like, if you're in Evansville, Indiana area, you may know this guy, or maybe, go ahead and tell them who that person is.
So yeah, Evansville, Indiana, Western Kentucky. In my early days of independent, very, very independent wrestling, I was known as the Big Deal Brad Bacon, manager of the Stars. Yeah. So occasionally Bacon. Yeah. Brad
Kevin
Bacon.
Kevin Bacon's like uncle or something. Or like long
His
distance.
cousin, Canadian Bacon. Jimmy probably knows him.
Oh yeah.
That guy. Yes. So yeah, that was one personality. The other personality was actually, my one big I guess hurrah at TNA or Impact Wrestling, I guess at the time. Or maybe I should say, what was the name of the
IPWF?
IPWF for the Throwback Throwdown. 2, I believe.
I think it was the second episode, the second show. Yeah, I was
the ring announcer who was, a kind of a drunken womanizer named Artichoke Jenkins. So that was fun. You remember back in the day at WCW when they were at Center Stage? You remember a guy named Rhubarb Jones?
Yeah, I know the name.
He was Saturday night 6:05. Rhubarb Jones was doing the ring announcing. I remember JR always throwing it up to him. So I took that name and became Artichoke Jenkins that night for the Throwback Throwdown with characters such as Tim Burr, the Angry Lumberjack, and who else? There was Sex Ferguson, I think, was on the card that night. Yeah.
It was
Wow.
Brian, you were that was one of the loops you were like, I ain't doing that shit.
I wasn't.
You didn't come. But then what was funny was afterwards he goes, "Oh, I would have been fun."
I mean, well, you hear it on paper and you're like, why do I want to do this shit? And then I went and actually watched it. I was like, I could have actually like really just been laid back and had fun. And
yeah,
then,
you get to do it. It doesn't care. You don't have to really do the rules. It doesn't care. Like, you just be goofy. I had a goofy mustache and
yeah, it
So
was
did
cool.
I.
you know?
I missed something good. You're right.
I was like 40 pounds heavier, and I look like Paul Bearer in my.
I hear you. Well, Eric,
No, a lot of fun.
get us out of here, buddy.
Well, absolutely, guys. Let's go through all the socials and every place folks can find you, Jimmy.
Okay, you can find me at Jimmy Corderas on Twitter, at Real Jimmy Corderas, on Instagram, on Facebook, everywhere else. You catch my Refin rants there from Monday to Friday. Just little critiques where I think some screws need to be tightened, and you can agree with me if you like. If you disagree, you're wrong, but that's okay. It's nothing wrong with being wrong. You can be a man and admit it. That's fine. I never am above admitting when I'm anyway. And of course, you can catch me on Huge Pop Radio with our good buddy Donnie De Silva. This week, actually, another great guest, current TNA X Division champion Cedric Alexander. That was a fun interview. No, fun interview. That was a good one.
Nice. All right, good.
Very cool. All right, Brian.
I'm very easy. This will take you a second. Ready? At Baby Hebner on the Twitter and Instagram. Again, Instagram is invite only. So don't get mad if I don't invite you or like you or bring you in or whatever you want to call it, accept you, whatever it may be. Eric, if you want to be friends, since I know that you go drinking at 3:00, hit me up on Instagram at Baby Hebner. Now, I got you, bro.
We'll do it. I got a place for you if you're ever in Louisville. Let's roll.
Well, you said Louisville. Good Lord. Okay.
And Daniel.
You can get me on the Twitter and the Instagram at Daniel Spencer. And I want to give a quick shout out to Core Chiropractic in Middletown, Kentucky. They got this shirt here. They're taking care of the OVW talent. And so wanted to wear this shirt here on the show. So there you go. Shout out to those guys. But also OVW and TNA live every Thursday night. OVW from 7 to 9. And then from 9 to 11. TNA Impact is going to be on your AMC and Sportsnet 360 in Canada, unless when hockey comes back, you may not have it.
Yeah. Hockey's king up here. I forgot to mention too, so guys, you're going to have a week off from me next week. I will be in Vegas for the Cauliflower Alley Club,
and I will actually be off next week too because I will be in Toronto at a Toronto Blue Jays game. So
whoa.
Yeah. So
am I Brian, looks like we're going to hit up the bar, right?
Am I doing the shit myself?
It's you and RJ, pal.
Yep.
All right. So I'll just tell everybody this. It will be me and RJ, and I will have a surprise guest for next week. This will come out hopefully within the next couple of days, if not early next week. It's got to come out this week. It'll come out this week. I'm working on it. I don't want to say anything too soon. But it's Eric again. No, I'm kidding. But no. We'll have a guest next week. We'll chat it up. It'll be a great show. So yeah, but I'll miss you guys both. The only thing is, I won't have to push you out of my screen, Daniel. You'll just be completely gone for a whole week. This is going to be nice, and I won't have to worry about that stupid Earl Hebner doll. Put it up now. I won't have to worry about it at all next week.
I love it.
Next week.
I love it. By the way, Donnie, we may have to change the name of the show if we move it to 9:00. Oh, permanently.
Wrapping it up after dark. That's awesome. That's amazing.
That is what the show is. Appreciate Eric jumping in.
Hey, thank you.
Last minute, helping us out and everything else. And then of course the special 9:00 time, because I know like Jimmy and Brian, you're an early bird too during the week at least.
So let Eric do it properly and finish it up. Okay, Eric, send us off, pal.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us, and until next time, when you get to see the three generations of calling it right down the middle on Reffing It Up.
1, 2, 3.